Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. They put out the name of the supposed shooter in the June 14th, 2017 UPS shooting hoax out of San Francisco. More proof that this is a psyop, a false flag put on by your government, your police, your media, as is always the case. None of you alive in your lifetime have ever seen a news story about a shooting that was anything other than a manufactured, contrived incident to be reported. All for the purpose of scaring you to make you think you need Big Brother to keep you safe. Big Brother's not here to keep you safe. Big Brother's here to control your mind and make you a slave to tyranny. That's the only purpose of government. That's been the only purpose of government in the history of this world. And to not know that is to be a person who doesn't know history, which is what most people in this nation are. In America, most people don't even know who their own congressman is. Most people in America don't know anything about anything besides corporate logos and what next consumer item they want to purchase. America, a nation of morons being exploited. And who are they being exploited by? At the very top of this corruption are the Zionist Jew puppeteers who do everything by a numerical code because this is their belief system. God made the world through language when God merged the letter with the number. So the Zionist Jews, they do everything with this belief. And true to form, in almost every single false flag that you've ever reported, and which many of you have thought were true, even though it's transparently fake, in almost every single one, they code the exact same numbers. Jimmy Lam. This is the name of the supposed UPS shooter. Doesn't the name just sound like fucking bullshit? Jimmy Lam. Little sheep. News for little sheep people. A nation of sheep people. Jimmy Lam equals 33. 33. The number in the U.S. Army Field Manual that's for false flags, which you can even read about. Our Army Field Manual has a specific page. It's Rule 33-1, and it's about how to run the false flag for the psychological operations over the Goy. And who joins the military? Only Goy. You don't see any Jews in the military. It's all Goy. Only a Goy would join the military. Only a Goy would become a mercenary for the New World Order. And that's what every U.S. soldier is. A Goy sheep mercenary for the Zionist Jew New World Order. And so is every police officer. You have to be a Goy to want to be these positions. And sadly, Goy, it's a real epidemic. So here's Jimmy Lam, old 33, like false flag. Look how nicely his name lines up with Freemasonry based in Jewish history, Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, where this whole number thing comes from. Jimmy Lam, let's not forget that police equals 33 in the same method, reduction, like masonry, like secrecy, order, things we've been talking about nonstop since 2013. This must be video/blog post number 1,000 exposing the false flag with the 33 shooter. And for the average Goy, which is another word for a person with a severely lacking mind, for the average Goy, they might call this a coincidence, which is why the Zionist Jews love to mock the Goy with the same repetitive patterns that they know they're just too stupid to pick up on. A lot of people don't know that intelligence, the definition, has a lot to do with pattern recognition, which is something that almost no one has the skill of in this society. Again, Goy. So as I was explaining, the Warriors would win the NBA Finals because it was all about 25, just like how the Patriots would win the Super Bowl because it's all about 25. The Warriors won the 25th championship for the West. Then 2 days later, you get a hoax shooting in the Bay Area as ritual, which is always done. How many times have I showed this? The false flag shooting to complement the rigged sports game. It's clockwork because it's all masonry. You got Zionist Jews controlling your sports league. You got Zionist Jews controlling your media. You got Zionist Jews controlling your police department. If you can't put 2 and 2 together, you know what the word is for you. 3 letters. Jimmy, 25. UPS, 25. Look at these UPS employees. What kind of information is this? He was about 40 years old. I mean, the reporting's bullshit. as always. And again, that's all it takes to stump the minds of the lessers. With regards to them saying the driver, Jimmy Lam, was about 40 years old, the word driver has 40. Probably the reason they did it, United States equals 40. So does Old Testament, where the Kabbalah code comes from. Driver also has gematria 41, like Golden State, like Game 5. Warriors won the series 4-1 in Game 5. His initials, JL, Jimmy Lam, J plus L, that's 10 plus 12, which is 22. Just like the word basketball, number we talk about all the time. If you missed the video I put out on this yesterday, check it out. There's a little more information. But before then, or before now, we didn't know the name Jimmy Lam. Also, yesterday, another false flag shooting in Washington, D.C. 2 false flag shootings in the news. San Francisco, Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is where Kevin Durant's from. You know, might be part of the ritual even. Kevin Durant from D.C., wins a championship in the Bay Area. And let's not forget who Kevin Durant is. Does everyone know why he wears the number 35? He's the man who had his high school basketball coach murdered at age 35 for his scripted career. So we can all watch him carry the ball all over the court. 7-foot man trying to handle the ball that carries it all over. No whistles. You're not even watching basketball. You're watching something worse than the WWE. 7-foot man and no one can find him on the court to get in front of him. You know, how many times in the playoffs did you just see Kevin Durant go into the hoop with no defender anywhere near him? Such a joke. Anyway, in Washington, D.C., the mockery was even more thick. A shooting at the GOP baseball game practice. Unreal. Anyhow, James T. Hodgkins III, as his profile was on Facebook, where he posted on March 22nd his intentions, 322. And he also made a post on May 23rd. All dates I told people to watch out for this year. All dates with false flags on them. Look at his name. James T. Hodgkins III, 113. This was a story about politics, 113. Remember, 113 is the number from the Talmud, which says, you know, the Goys are lesser. They're a slave race. They're too stupid to be worth anything more than a slave race. And for those of you who don't know what a Goy is, somebody who's not Jewish. Baba Kama 113a. Jews may use lies to circumvent a Gentile. Gentile is also somebody who's not Jewish. That's the nicer word for a lesser. A Goy is the more derogatory term. Mainstream equals 113. Who controls that? You know? Most Goy don't know. Most Goy only know about what they want to buy next. What piece of food they want to put in their mouth. You know? It's too bad we can't look in the minds of the average American. I bet you look in the mind of the average man right now in the U.S. He has the ball game on his mind. He has his next meal on his mind. He's probably thinking of some big titties, and there's probably nothing else in there. Nothing else in there. Maybe I want to buy some more ball caps or shoes. Put some wheels on my car. Anyway. Mainstream 113, dishonest 113, not true 113, fiction 113, bullshit 113, and there's a whole lot more. Everything that has to do with dishonesty is 113, and you know why? Because the Jewish people made our nice little English language. English equals 74, like gematria, like Jewish, like Masonic. So anyway, James T. Hodgkins III, his name also has 94 gematria. We were talking about 94, how relevant that is to the NBA. The court's 94 feet long. The Cavs got their 94th loss all time in the playoffs in Game 5. The finals equals 94. It's also a very important number to the World Series. Last year I showed why the Cubs, after they got their 94th win, why they would win 47 days later in Game 7. And couldn't have called it any better. Exactly how it happened. Also in spring training, I said why the Cubs would win. It was all scripted in the numbers. So 94, when you write it out, it sums to 147, like Freemason, like World Series. And let's not overlook that right here, Freemason, there's your 147. 211, also relevant. That's the 47th prime. Very relevant number to politics in Washington, D.C. Look at this. Just in case you're new here, just in case you really are a Goy mind that's still listening, Look, DC, 47. White House, 47. Government, 47. President, 47. Authority, 47. The Freemasons have the 47th problem of Euclid. Just for the record, Foundation 47. The Freemason who built DC was from France, 47. You see? How about Democrat? Democrat, 47. How about Republican? Republican, 47. Where was Trump the night of the selection? He was in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel. Sometimes because I type quick, somebody will say, well, you spelled the word wrong. But what they don't realize is the letters were just out of order. Again, this is elementary understanding. This is addition. It doesn't matter what sequence the letters are in. You know, the letters are numbers, just like how if you add 5 plus 6, it's the same as adding 6 plus 5. So when I make a typo like that, if you're watching the video and the only comment you can leave is, you spelled Republican with the N and A backwards. Who cares? You know, that's a goy comment. That's a lesser comment. Anyway, Trump, 47. The Stooge, his family, they weren't named Trump when they moved over here. When they come over to the United States, they were named Drumpf, 33. 33. 84, they're a family of Jesuits. I don't know why so many of you idiots keep saying that Donald Trump's not a Jesuit. Why don't you look where he was just days before the election? He was at a Jesuit conference in Washington, D.C., and let's not forget the Jesuits own Washington, D.C., and let's not forget who the Jesuits are. They're the Jesuits. The Jews create all the religions for the world, because the Jews know the Goy are easy to control with fairy tales and bullshit, which is why so many people worship bullshit, from fake religion to fake news. It's an epidemic. You know, a lot of people are angry because I said yesterday in the video that the Jews are clearly a lot smarter than the Goy. And somebody said, no, they're not. They're just, you know, they're just corrupt. Well, yeah, they're absolutely corrupt. But you know what? Look at what goes on in this world. The Goy don't do anything about it. They stand down. They shoot down their fellow man that exposes them. You know? The Jews are absolutely a million times smarter than the Goy. The Goy are fucking retarded. It's not that the Jews are so smart. It's just that the Goy are that fucking retarded, you know? That's the point to understand. So anyway, Jimmy Lam, James T Hodgkins III, 33113. How many videos? How many videos with 33 and 113 in these false flag shootings? How many more do we need to make? You know? GOP baseball practice. Also yesterday, they almost did a third false flag on us. They said there was an active shooter at Travis Air Force Base. And then later they said, oh, lockdown lifted. It was just a false alarm. Understand this. Active shooter. Terminology for hoax. Anytime you hear the media say active shooter, what that means is the police are conducting a drill and they're thinking about reporting it as a false flag. I've actually covered a few of these in the time I've been here. These active shooters where it's later reported that it was just a mistake. You know why? It's probably because they fucked up the drill too bad and they couldn't report it as the hoax they wanted to. Active shooter terminology for Masonic Jewish false flag. Don't forget it. Active shooter also sums to 191, like Travis Air Force Base. How about that? And again, who are they using to sell us out? They're using the fucking biggest retards in our society, which are the people who join military and police. There's no one in the military who's not a fucking retard. And I don't care about if that's the only opportunity you have to climb in the world so that you can go get your Goy piece of paper from the college that teaches you nothing but bullshit and makes you jump through hoops too. That's not a reason to sign up to be a mercenary. Oh, I wanted my fake education paid for, so I decided I'd go be a mercenary for the New World Order. That makes you a sellout to humanity. That's all that's in the military and police. Period. And look at how they mock your ass. Again, one more time, yesterday's story when this broke, a police car with 146 on the top. What was the date? June 14th, 14/6, Flag Day, the Orange Oompa Loompa's birthday. And people can't see the mocking. Think about how fucking retarded you had to be to go vote for Donald Trump, or to vote in any election. But Donald Trump, it's never been a bigger joke. casino manager, born with a silver spoon in his mouth, fucking moron, compulsive liar. Just a pathetic man. I mean, dude, you're 71 years old. Who's still tanning at 71? Who's painting themselves orange at 71? Nation that worships materialism, has no common sense, no eyes to see, no decency, hates the truth teller, worships the Zionist Jew who fucks them in their ass. Again, it's a nation of faggots and retards. And if you're a critic of mine, pick which one you are, if not both. Until next time.